Thanks for the support as a channel member, Brian Herman. Well, we've made it through to the end of the season. We haven't got automatic promotion, but we are going to be in the playoffs. Today, we're going to find out where we're going to finish in the playoff thing and who we're going to be playing first. Hello and welcome to part 6 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the final 2 league games of the regular season, away against Curzon Ashton and at home against Guiseley. Since you were last with me, we did get a little bit of a recovery of form, which I wasn't necessarily expecting at various points in the last episode. And we beat Altrincham. We absolutely smashed Farsley. I don't even know where that one came from. But then back to typical form recently. A draw against Nuneaton. We beat Rushall, who I think are the team that knocked us out of one of the cups earlier on in the season. I could be wrong there. Oh, no, that was Radcliffe. They both begin with R. They're basically the same place. And then we lost to Newark Flowserve, who are becoming more and more a competitive rival for us. That brings us into the final 2 games, Curzon Ashton and Guiseley. This is what the league table looks like. So we are looking good for second place, but there is the possibility we could drop down to third if we're not careful. I think the way these work is 7th place 4th, 6th place 5th, and then if we finish second, we'll face the winners of 4th versus 7th. So at the moment, it's looking like one of Darlington, Stockport and Stalybridge, or potentially Southport or Matlock. Quite a few options for that first game. Assuming we finish second, which we should. We have to be pretty pathetic in these 2 matches not to. Little bit of transfer news. They're really just transfers already arranged for the summer. Babajide, after me slating him in the last episode, 2 things have happened. One is he started scoring goals. We've been playing him and he's been scoring. But 2, he's agreed to leave. He's going to be leaving us to go to Nigeria to play for... Who is he playing for? Enugu Rangers. The real news here, though, is they're offering him nearly $2,000 a week to go and play for them. So I don't blame him at all for going. He was never going to get that kind of money from us. But we have a replacement already coming in. Owen Gunter is coming in from Manchester United on a free transfer. So I think, although he's perhaps not Babajide level just yet, lots of potential. Fingers crossed. Interestingly, bringing him in on a non-contract. So slight change to how we're doing things this coming season. Sean Dootson, similar thing, coming in from Liverpool. So starting to get some summer business underway already. But let's not worry about the summer for now. Let's worry about getting into the... Well, we're already in the playoffs, but where we finish in the playoffs and getting some form together ready for those playoffs. So we're going with Eastwood in goal, a back 4 of Agintus, Lacey, Wyatt and Riley, Mottram and Brown in midfield, and then Hull, Jones and Smith behind Babajide up front. I know it's mad that Babajide's getting the majority of his game time now. He's already agreed to leave. But like I say, of all the strikers that we've got at the club, and as we know, that's not many, it's basically 3 of them, and we always have at least one of them out on that right wing. But he's the only one scoring goals at the moment. So even though he's the one who's leaving, I mean, the other 2 could conceivably leave yet. Agbon Lahore's obviously here on loan. Smith hasn't yet got a contract for next season, although I would very much like to give him one. But we can't do anything like that until we have some players leave, because everyone wants a pay rise and we can't afford to do them. Someone did suggest in the comments have pay rises that are set to start in the summer, which, I mean, it's a reasonable shout. But if we're going to do that, then I think we can probably just wait until the summer anyway. And it might be that some better options appear. We'll just have to wait and see. I think it's kind of the nature of things at this level. You get some players who you want to tie down, so you'll try and tie him down. Like Hull, I would love to give him a contract. I would give him whatever he wants, but he doesn't want anything. We've got a few others who are tied down for next year now. Probably 4 or 5 of them definitely going to be here next year. And the rest of them, if they get offers from somewhere else, they might go. They might not get offers, so they might stay, and we might keep them on non-contract. We might give them new deals and supplement with better quality all round. That's the idea. Wyatt is one of the ones who has a contract sorted for next season, though, just because I'm still anxiously waiting for him to come out in Fiend costume, which, if he's still playing for us in the Championship, I'll buy a Fiend mask and wear it for a video. He's not going to be. I don't want to have to buy a Fiend mask. Well, it would be some good Comic-Con cosplay. Jaden Smith has scored He's got his 22nd goal of the season, and hopefully that's the sign of him finally being back in some goals. I know I'm playing him out on the wing, which isn't necessarily what I would do if I was 100% serious about trying to get him free scoring again. But, you know, at least he's in the team. Agbon Lahore, the one who's here on loan, is the one who's having to sit on the bench. Babajide is about as useful as someone here on loan at the moment, though both of them are going to be leaving. So Smith, I guess, is the man we should be persisting with. But of course, if he's up front and not scoring, we kind of can't risk our form just for the sake of keeping a player happy. But we're ahead in this game, and if things in all games end as they are now, it does look like we confirm second place today, because Darlington presumably not, I mean, I guess they must be losing. So I think we were 3 points ahead of them. So it's not even a case of them not winning yet. I think they are losing at the moment. We'll double check when we see the latest scores come back up again in a second. But Curzon Ashton are in here, and Eastwood's had a good season by and large. I've got no issue at all with keeping him around for another year. Again, depending on money and contracts and things, I can't be giving pay rises to all of these players, because looking at our financial situation, I assume we're not going to get much in the way of an increase in wage budget. We might do if we get promoted, but if we're still in this league next year, I would expect to be operating on the same budgets we're operating on now, which, as we're already way over budget. So we can't keep all of these players and give them all pay rises, because we'll be even worse off. So we need to pick the ones we really want who will justify a pay rise. But anyone who's a bit of a fringe player and we could potentially get for cheaper by taking a gamble on someone else, I think that's probably what we have to be doing. But Eastwood is one of those that if the price is right, he will stay, because, you know, championship experience, not to be sniffed at when you're down at this level. Right, 1-0 at half-time. I could have looked then to see what was going on in the Darlington game. I didn't. We're guarding against complacency. Darlington are losing against Kings Lynn. My beloved Kings Lynn doing me a solid. And to be fair, oh, actually, they can't. I thought there was a way for them to sneak in, but it's Curzon Ashton, who we're playing now, who are at the bottom of the playoff picture at the moment. That's interesting, actually, because we're away from home against a team we could potentially face in the playoff semi-final. So if we can comfortably beat them away from home here, I think as the second place team, we're automatically at home in the semi-final, because I think they're just one-legged affairs. I'm not sure if this differs from how it is lower down. But certainly lower down the structure, the final would also be at the home team's ground. But I don't think that's the case in the Conference North. I think we do go to a neutral venue for the final. I mean, if we're going to have a semi-final and final both at our ground, then we've got to be feeling confident finishing in second place. Hull is in here. Can he apply the finish? He can. Only a 7th goal of the season for Marcus Hull. It feels like he should have contributed more goals for the quality of player that he is, but I think we have to remember he had a little bit of a slow start to the season as I was trying to work out how to fit him into the team properly, changing the team shape to accommodate him. We knew he was our most talented player, but it took me a little while to work out how to get the best out of him, and we are now. And it's showing with him now starting to weigh in with some goals. Smith's in again. He's got his second of the game. And everything is starting to look really rather pleasant. We're going to make a change because Zach Brown's picked up a knock. So we're going to bring on Jago Lott for him. Lott is another one who's going to be here next year. So we probably need to start playing him. He's done a Mick Powell star rating wise and is officially, by star rating, the second best player at the club now. But I'm still not entirely sure where he fits into my team. I guess Mottram could go out onto that right wing and Lott into the midfield, which gets Mottram back into his more natural position. But I don't know. Right, we're going to perhaps... What am I doing? What am I doing? We've not paused, and I'm making a substitution that makes no sense. Right, we're going to keep Jones on, because we don't really... In fact, no, we're not. We're going to do this. I'm going to stick Smith up front, because we're 3-0 up. Let's just stick him up there and give him the chance to go and get his hat-trick. So we'll stick him up alongside Babajide. It's how we started the season. We're back in the same front two that started the season, in the same tactic. And here is Jaden Smith's opportunity to complete his hat-trick, and the full redemption arc will be complete. Well, not today, it seems. He's not quite back to his best. Fitness-wise, I think we're just going to take Riley off at right back. Apparently O'Connor can come on and cover that. I'm not convinced, but for 10 minutes when we're 3-0 up, just for the sake of saving Riley's fitness, I don't think it's the worst thing we could do. I think we should drop some praise as well, because I have been a little bit critical of the boys recently, but we've turned up today with an excellent performance against a good team who, like I say, could very well be a team that we face in the playoffs, although I assume Darlington are going to have something to say about that. But Darlington are the team that are currently losing to Kings Lynn. So 2 potential playoff opponents who are not in the best of form at the moment. So there's positives coming out of this. I'm tentatively encouraged that our promotion push might not be completely finished with for this season, despite not quite having the legs to go all the way and win the title. Hull is in again here. Cross comes over to Agbon Lahore, who plays it back to O'Connor, who is playing completely out of position and didn't really know what to do, but he's won us a corner. And hopefully we can grab Smith's hat-trick from this. Hull with the corner. Agbon Lahore's there. It falls to Lacey. Back out to Hull. Lacey again. Back to Wyatt. Where are any of our forwards? There's Babajide, but he's... I think that's the first time I've mentioned him during today's match, so he's not had the best of days. But that was a good result. And now hopefully we can have another good performance against Guiseley, and while everyone else continues to fumble, and then we'll know what's going on when we head into the playoffs in the next episode. Just the one change for the Guiseley game, then we are going back to the attack that we've used for most of the season. Now Smith's back in the goals. He can go back up front. Agbon Lahore comes back in on the right-hand side, and Babajide dropping down to the bench. Despite being in relatively good form, I think on their the 3 of them at their best, Smith and Agbon Lahore are both better than Babajide. And he's not a bad option to have on the bench when he's in the form that he's in. But I'd like to get Agbon Lahore back into some decent form for the playoffs as well, because if we've got all 3 of them scoring goals, then I'm feeling pretty confident going into this, because when we were at our best early in the season, we were a pretty free scoring team, as you can see from our goal difference compared to all of the clubs chasing us. 36 for us, no one else higher than 20. So obviously on our day, we can score a few goals. Hull has done brilliantly here. Oh my word, we're starting to see the best of Marcus Hull, and I really, really, really hope that maybe a promotion will encourage him to sign a new contract, because I really want to keep him around, because he is getting better and better all the time. And I think we've only seen a little bit of what that player is going to be able to offer. But there's just not a chance he signs for us in this division. There might be a small chance he'll sign for us in the next one up, but it'll probably be expensive to do. So we might end up getting promoted and still not being able to afford to keep him. Smith is in there and has been fouled, surely. Agbon Lahore hits the post from the follow-up shot, but players don't tumble like that normally in Football Manager unless they've been fouled. So I'm a little bit confused about why that didn't get given as a penalty or a free kick the other way for a dive. It just kind of was a thing. He fell over, having been kicked by one of their defenders. But Agbon Lahore with the follow-up maybe should have done just a smidgen better and hit it a little bit harder. Maybe Lacey's got his 14th yellow card of the season. I mean, I might scout him for Barnsley. He would fit right into my Barnsley team with that kind of disciplinary record. Riley with the free kick from deep. Lacey was looking to chase, but it falls to Smith, who's created a little bit of space for himself. That was beautiful from Jaden Smith. He did so well. He picked the ball up in a position where you don't think there's any goal threat here. He's just got the ball, but he's not going to do anything with it. He's facing the wrong way. He's miles out, but he just quite slowly rounds that player, creates a little bit of space for himself and sticks it into that bottom corner. Excellent football. Smith is back, everybody, and we need to get him a new contract, because if this is how he's going to be playing, then we want to have him around next year for sure. Looking at the scenarios in the other games, Curzon Ashton have now dropped out of the playoff picture as things stand. So it's looking like Darlington versus Matlock and Stalybridge versus Southport in the first matches, with both us and Stockport going straight through to the semi-finals. So as things stand, we'll be playing either Darlington or Matlock in the semi-final at home. Now, obviously, we'd rather play Matlock. Although that being said, Darlington in really poor form, it might be the right time to play them. They're drawing away against Blythe today. If they were to lose, I think that pushes them even further down and takes them out of our radar. Radar's not the right word. I know what I mean. We're bringing Babajide on up from Hull. Despite me raving about him, not having a good game apparently. We don't have anyone who can come on for him. And we are going to take Zach Brown off in midfield, bring his brother on for him. And we've got both Maloney and O'Connor down on the bench to potentially come on if needed. So Matlock, who are Matlock playing? Matlock are drawing away against Nuneaton at the moment. So it's not like they're storming into things late if they're only doing it with a draw. It just shows Curzon Ashton are falling apart a little bit. So I'm less impressed with how we played against Curzon Ashton now, if they're in free fall. And as you can see today, Guiseley in the relegation zone, and we're only 1 goal up against them at the moment. Lacey on a yellow card, not playing well. As much as I don't like changing my centre-backs, O'Connor for Lacey there is a pretty easy decision for a man who has a habit of collecting a yellow card, and when he's already got one, we don't want to risk him going and getting another one. Lacey does head clear there, though, but he's chasing him down. Don't chase anybody at this stage. You're about to come off. Don't get yourself sent off, because then you're going to be suspended for the playoffs, and that would be a disaster. I thought we'd given away a penalty there, but no, it's gone the other way. We get a free kick, and I think that might be the season just drifting out. It's not. There's another highlight. I thought we were done. But there's still 5 minutes left on the clock. Wyatt clears excellently. I can't believe that man wasn't in my team at the start of the year. He's another one who's done a bit of a Mick Powell this year. And Babajide is in, and it's a very good effort from Babajide. Where was that kind of ability early on in the season when we were just getting nothing out of him? Hull with the header now goes just over. We had a couple of good chances here at the end. We've had a lot of possession and a lot of shots. We've not really created any really good chances, though. We've had a lot of half chances, but I don't think we created a clear-cut chance in the entire match. It was a bit of a let-off. We can't play like that in the playoffs, but we will now see how things have finished. So it is going to be Darlington versus Matlock, Stalybridge versus Southport, and then we face the winners of those. Our pitch is a disgrace. We need to relay the pitch in the summer, but I just don't think we've got the money to do it. We're massively in debt. We're not going to be getting a new pitch anytime soon. And this guy, Maidstone, want Edgintus, and I don't really want him to go. I like him. But now we know who we're going to play. It's either Darlington or Matlock. We will be back tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. We'll be back Sunday for the first bit of the playoffs. And hopefully another promotion. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.